Oh, look at
Nice.
that.
Lovely model shots there. Well, hello and welcome to the Shallow Proclamation. My name is Paul, and as always, I'm joined by...
Thomas.
Hello. It's
Hello.
good to have you all back with us again. We are, I say motoring. We're making our way through Series 3 of Doctor Who. If you've not joined us before, we're watching everything basically related to Doctor Who from 1963 onwards. And hopefully we're going to get through all of the show and related media around it. And we're about to jump into the Dalek Master Plan. More on that in a moment. Just to say, though, as always, do give us a like and subscribe. It's great to see familiar names cropping up in the comments and to see the community growing. And we do enjoy reading your comments and kind of interacting with you guys. And also all the trivia and stuff you chuck in about stories is really great for us as well. We love all that. So do like and subscribe. Do drop your comments below about the stories and what you think of them because we love that. Thomas, do you want me to fill you in a bit on this story?
Please do. Yeah.
So we've got the Dalek Master Plan. It was broadcast from the 13th of November 1965 to the 29th of January 1966. Directed by Douglas Camfield. So Douglas Camfield done a lot of Doctor Who stuff, quite highly regarded generally. Written by Terry Nation and Dennis Spooner. So there's a bit of a split, two writers, which we might talk about as we go. It's a 12-parter. And unless you count, there's a season in the Colin Bacon era. Colin Bacon, crispy. There's a season in the Colin Baker era, even, which has a sort of overarching theme, which is kind of 14 episodes, but it's really made up of shorter stories. So if you don't count that, this is the longest story in Doctor Who history. We've only got 3 of those episodes that exist, sadly. Episode 2, I think 5 and 10 off the top of my head. That might not be quite right. So the counterplot and escape switch, which are some of those episodes that exist, were recovered in 1983. They were found in the basement of a Mormon church in South London.
Oh, wow.
And no one really knows quite how they got to be there. It's a bit of a follow-on. We watched for the Mythmakers, we watched Mission to the Unknown, that one-parter, which was sort of a prologue to this story to get us in. So actually, when we rejoin this story now, we've already got a bit of that history behind it from what we saw in that story.
So in a sense, it's a 13-parter.
Well, yeah, I suppose you could look at it like that. Yeah, I suppose you could look at it a bit like that. And I'm excited about it, actually, because... for me, it's a bit of a mysterious story. I mean, I've got the 3 episodes that exist. They were on the Lost in Time DVD that came out in the early 2000s, which had all the missing, or not the missing material, had the existing stories from missing serials on there. So I've seen those. I've definitely seen the whole of it before, but I don't remember loads about the thing. But I think as well, I get the impression that this story is held in generally quite high regard as a Dalek story. And maybe I feel that I've maybe not quite realised that in the past because of the fact that most of it's missing. And when I was younger, I didn't really watch the missing stuff so much and recons. So I'm kind of hoping that we're going to discover that this is a real gem. Now, do you recognise this guy? There's no reason you would at this stage. His name is Nicholas Courtney in real life. And he later becomes a regular member of the show as the Brigadier.
Ah, right.
Who you will know a little bit about from Modern Who. You
mentioned in the Capaldi era, isn't he?
Yeah. But he's not the Brigadier in this. This is just another role.
Now in this year of 4000, we can feel justly proud.
4,000? Flipping out. I'm hoping we'll get some more Varga action in this story.
Yeah, maybe.
How can I keep on the move with this? Have we got any more bright ideas? All that will happen is I'll hit one of those spiked plants. I nearly fell on one before.
There we go.
Speak of the devil. What are you drinking, Paul?
Apple Tango.
I think I need to get one as well because it takes 2 to tango. This episode was sponsored by Tango.
Yeah, I was actually... I got some in France once, but it was I took the last one. It was the last tango in Paris.
Oh, footage.
Yeah, there's a few little snippets that exist in some of the lost episodes.
Again, yeah. How did these survive, I wonder? Maybe this is the clip that was played on Top of the Pops.
Yeah.
And it's the only surviving fragment of this Doctor Who episode.
I have my key to get myself in. Yes, this trap, key. This opens the door from the outside. Now go in, please. Shut the door.
She must be pretty overwhelmed. She's gone from ancient Greece, Troy, to the year 4000.
Yeah. I was just thinking in the last few days that it doesn't seem like there's a huge amount of episodes that exist that actually feature Stephen.
That's a
There's
good
a lot of
point,
recons,
actually.
you know. There's a lot that's been lost, particularly from season 3. So,
Because we had the chase and the time meddler, but I don't actually remember seeing that much more footage of him.
no.
What is it? Oh, it's a little invention of mine. I call it the magnetic chair.
He's discovered that's his kind of his thing, hasn't he? So he's just milking it
Definitely.
dry.
What happened to Stephen? Didn't he get hurt at the end of the Mythmakers?
I was just trying to remember that. How
I think he got hurt, didn't he? In a
how
sword
did he
fight?
get injured?
Don't worry, he's quite safe for you. Now get.
I think he was in a sword fight at the end.
Yeah. I think we struggled to focus on that because we were too miffed about Vicky's hasty departure.
Oh, wow.
Crumbs.
It's pretty graphic for tea time.
Yeah. Oh, look at
Nice.
that.
Lovely model shots there.
Is that surviving footage, do you
Yeah,
reckon?
I think it is, yeah.
Oh, that was stunning.
Space Vessel 111.
Oh.
Tablets, man, too.
Box of heroes.
Yeah, Cadbury's Roses.
I am honored to be here. And to be part of your plan to conquer Earth and all the planets in the solar system.
Would you give away Earth to the Daleks, Paul?
Depends what they offered, you know.
Yeah.
Oh, there we go.
How much?
Yeah.
That was. Sorry, can I just play that final shot again? That was quite nice, even though it was kind of CGI, wasn't it? But
Yeah, yeah. No, it's well done. I like these reconstructions.
yeah.
They don't go too far,
No.
but they do keep it interesting to watch. So
Yeah, I liked how they did all the flashing lights and stuff.
yeah, it's just little things like that that make a difference, isn't it? Plus, they do incorporate in the footage that exists, which is good because not all reconstructions do that either. So
Yeah.
yeah, great. What did you make of that episode 1?
I really enjoyed that. I thought it had a lot of intrigue to it. I like the fact that it kind of just played out in the TARDIS and then the Doctor kind of walking around. So it was kept it to a minimum, the sort of locations and stuff. I'm concerned at this point that, you know, this is a 12-parter and I worry that, I mean, I think that was a good episode, but I worry that there's going to be a kind of episode 7 to 9 lull.
Well,
But
I mean,
I want to be proven
helps-
wrong.
If it helps, I think I'm right in saying so. It's got 2 writers, as I said, Terry Nation and Dennis Spooner. Did I say? I can't remember. Yes. Now I think Terry Nation had initially been commissioned to write a 6-parter, and then they decided they needed 12, and so I think the story changes quite a bit from about episode 6 onwards. That there's just a different feel because I think Dennis Spooner has to come in and basically fill in all this extra space. So, I mean, that could be disastrous in the sense of we've got 6 episodes worth of story, we've got to spin this out to 12, or it could be, as I think is probably the case, that, I mean, yeah, you might get a little lull, but I think my understanding is Spooner comes in and does something a little bit different, so it might keep it interesting. We'll see, but...
Yeah.
Yeah, no, for me, I enjoyed it. It went really quickly for me, particularly for a recon. I didn't feel like we said much through it, but yeah, I think I've had to, you know, trying to pick positive things from it. I mean, there are lots of positive things. I really like something you've mentioned before, how the Daleks in this stage, they are more sort of cunning, and the fact that they have allies and stuff, that the idea that you could meet with the Daleks and do things, and the Daleks might have a plan rather than just kill everyone.
Yeah.
Total domination is much more interesting to watch. So I like that characterization. I'll be interested to see more of it unfold as we go, because I think, you know, this is supposed to be a bit of a kind of space empire, space opera type story. So yeah, Very good.
Awesome. Well, thanks for watching, everyone. We'll be back for part 2 very soon. Goodbye.
Take care.